Hi, good morning, morning. How's it going?
What are you doing?
Okay, so, whoa, girl. Some mornings, you got to start with a little bit of oil.
Oh, I second that notion. Which
I
one are
know,
you
and I didn't tell
using?
you to come prepared with some, but
What you
whoo,
got
girl,
today?
what's that?
Which one do you have today?
This is some lavender because this topic for me is one of those topics that kind of can bring me a lot of energy, and I don't want to scare anyone. I mean, good girl. I mean, this is getting to after, but like sometimes in this particular topic, I stay in before. I'm just being honest. So I said, let me start with a little bit of oil,
Hmm.
and then we can get started. All right, Morgan, how are you? I hope you're having a great morning so far.
It is wonderful. Thank you for asking. How about yourself?
It's a good morning. It's a good morning. Welcome everyone to Getting to After. My name is Chatone Morrison. I am the princess of positivity. I do believe that you can release your negativity so your positive can reign in your brain, in your business, in your big, beautiful life. I'm an EFT coach, a self-talk expert. I'm an author. I'm a core energy coach. And one of the things that I absolutely love doing, especially in this platform, is reminding midlife women that there is no shelf life on healing and you can get confident whenever you get ready to. And that's why people come to Getting to After. We're here every Tuesday. Let me introduce you to the lovely one.
Hey, everybody. I'm Morgan Bustos. I'm your companion in transformation, also an EFT practitioner, and a woman who knows what it's like to rebuild her life after trauma. I love to help women remember their strength when they've been through so much in the season and that they don't forget who they are. So, everybody, welcome to Getting to After.
Yay, yes. Now listen, y'all. I know that if you were here last week, you said, what in the whole world? Because last week was traumatic for both of us. It was traumatic for us, okay?
That was a
Um,
lot.
it was ridiculous. But here we are. Now you'll notice that Morgan's in a different space. And so we're just going to ignore that. We're going to ignore that. Let me tell you a little something about pivoting. And I mentioned this last week. When something is really important to you, you get it done.
Mhm.
This is super important to us. And so we're getting it done. So we've had a minor change of venue, but we're here with the goods for you. So today we're circling back to these 8 ways that we talked about last week. We want you to be able to see us while we do it. And this particular one is one I'm very passionate about, and this is about
Mhm.
nourishing the whole you. And we're going to be really talking about how do we do this. It's not a diet talk, as I told you last week. It's not a discipline. We're talking about nourishment. We're talking about real food, fuel, and real listening. And the thing that's so interesting about this particular topic and why I need oil for it is because Morgan, it's been with me my entire life. What does nourishment mean? Eat this, not eat that. Put this on your plate. Don't put that on your plate. Everyone's looking. Can you do this? Can you do that? And there's so many rules around something that we need to
Mhm.
live.
Right. And sometimes what we really crave isn't even food at all. It might just be something quiet or a space or even just time to breathe.
Yeah, exactly, Morgan. I mean, it's not a perfection thing. It's knowing what your body's asking for. So today we're really going to be talking about what does that look like? And because we said for 8 weeks, we want you to think about what are these things? How can you take one of these things to end 2025 well? They're not really challenges, and we're not doing 60 days hard, okay, because I don't believe in that. But we are talking about things that often with midlife women and women in general can be a struggle. And in 2025, it's absolutely a struggle when it comes to what's on your plate, how do you feel about it, how are you consuming it, and what's the aftermath. So, can I tell you a little story?
Yes.
Okay,
I love story time with Chatone.
okay, here's story time with Tom. Okay, so last week I made penne for the family. All right, I'm not talking about rice noodles. I'm not talking about quinoa noodles. I'm not talking about noodles made from chickpeas. I'm talking about noodles, okay, gluten, penne, all right? And I also made turkey meatballs with my hands. They were not from a bag. I made turkey sausage, homemade sauce. You heard it, not
Mm.
Prego, Chatono. Okay, I made my own sauce. And even though I don't usually do gluten, I was just like looking at that penne and it was just al dente, just perfect. It had the little olive oil look. It was a little, and I
Mm.
said, I want some. I want some of this. So I took my big giant IKEA white bowl. You know those bowls I have, Morgan, my favorite
Yes.
bowls. And I layered some penne in the bottom.
Mhm.
And then instead of using as much pasta as I would normally, as someone else might put in a bowl, I decided to layer in there like all of this fresh baby spinach. I didn't wilt it first. I didn't cook it first. I literally just put it on top and used the hot sauce to kind of cook it right in my bowl. And you know
Mm,
what I put on top? Just a tiny bit. You know how I feel about goat cheese now. All right. And you know what? It was, even now, just thinking back to it, girl, it was perfect. It
mm,
was perfect. There was a time when I wouldn't have done that. And that sounds crazy. But because of how I was raised, there was a time where I wouldn't eat what truly nourished my body because
mm,
there was commentary. And it's only in recent years that and by a lot of work, that I've turned the word nourishment into nourishment. Nourishment. It's nourishment for my whole self, not for
mm.
what someone else thinks my body should do. Now, tell me about you, Morgan. I mean, when you think about nourishment, not just what fills your body up, has anything been changing for you lately?
Oh, a lot's been changing. So typically, like nourishment would mean food for me. But lately, what I've been doing is putting in my headphones and like literally blocking everything out and laying down and just being really, really still. So before it felt like, constantly go, 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 and not being able to even like eating while standing up while I'm eating kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
you told me
taking a
about
minute,
that.
yeah, just literally taking a minute to be able to block everything out. That's how I've been like trying to fill up and nourish my soul lately.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm. Like
Okay.
listening to my body, knowing when I'm tired,
Yes.
because of my
Yes.
fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue, like my body's been really burnt out lately. So it's helped to just be able to be very, very still, to do my breathing, but literally just like zoning out and like blocking everything else out around me. It's been really
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's interesting because you're not even really talking about food. But when you do, it's doing those things first will then make the meal a true meal. And I mean, I think this is a topic we'll always talk about because for women, what we have, what we're eating, what we're not eating, what we're doing, it's there's always so much commentary around it. And whether we think we're strong and we're, liberated and we're free, the truth of the matter is when you see something all day, every day, it is going to have an effect on you. As we enter the end part of the year, there's lots of commentary about our bodies, what we should wear, what we should put on, what we should eat, what we shouldn't eat. Are you eating that? Do you want some? It's
Mhm.
it's like a lot, right?
Yeah.
And so because I think it's food as a conversation and not as a transaction, it's not a transaction thing. And there needs to be these kind of three threads to kind of create this nourishment fabric or this nourishment garment. And as you and I were talking earlier, I think this is going to be such a great topic. So listen, y'all, I mean, like turn your earphone up, like lean in, because this is something that I think that is really going to benefit you moving out of 2025 into a new year. So first three threads. The first one is reconnection. So just using my example, there was a time where I wouldn't. First of all, because I don't eat gluten, then I'd be afraid if I ate gluten. Everyone's like, "Are you eating gluten?" If that's never happened to someone else out there, you're lying. You know that if you declare that you're vegan and somehow for some reason the steak ended up on your fork one day, everyone's in your business.
That is so true.
Why are you on my fork,
Oh.
Morgan? Why are they on my fork? So nourishment to me, one of the most important things is we're talking about the whole you, having this idea of presence, having this
Mhm.
idea of permission and giving yourself peace. So if steak finds itself on your fork right now because you looked over and you're like,
Mhm.
whoa, or turkey finds its way on your fork right now, and I know you're vegan and it's not tofurkey. I know I wouldn't eat tofurkey if it was the last thing on earth. No, I would, but I'd be sad about it. So the thing is that okay, seriously, this is no joke.
Yeah.
People know I'm gluten free
Mhm.
and they're like in my face. But I get to make the decisions. That's a part of nourishing the whole you.
Mhm.
Making decisions based on your level of peace. And I want you to remember that sentence because that's going to be something we're going to talk about throughout the rest of the year. is making decisions upon your level of peace.
Mm,
Right, Morgan?
that's that's really good. Really,
It's
really good.
so important that we do this. So, stopping long enough to ask yourself, what does my body actually need today? And we talked about that last week a little bit. Um,
Mhm.
that's something you can journal on. Again, using your, getting an active journal. That's something that you may want to journal on. What does my body actually need today? That's hard sometimes when you've done meal planning. That's hard sometimes when you're on a meal, like, on some kind of deficit plan, or even when you're fasting, because I often fast half the day, and I know you do as well. But settling down to ask yourself and actually journaling on that, because sometimes, as you mentioned, sometimes it's soup, sometimes it's steak, and sometimes it's just silence.
Well, and sometimes what you think might be hungry, like you might be hunger, it's really just your emotions. It could be loneliness, it could be stress, it could be sadness. And the neat part is what, the body tries to speak to us in so many different ways when words don't, right? I mean, how do you notice the difference in yourself?
There were so many times when there's like this eating out of emotion, and then there's this eating out of this is what I want, and I feel good about it. And
Mm,
then there's like, is there stress after or isn't there? So for me, it's a matter of recognizing that if I make a decision and that there is going to be peace after it. And when my body is saying, I'm not talking about hunger, like I smelled something because I'm walking down the street. Ooh, now I want to, whatever. You go, the best one I think is when you're in the mall and Cinnabon will cost you.
oh, every time. It gets us every time, doesn't it? You're like, what?
But the truth is that honestly, I never want a Cinnabon. That is just not something that I don't even want a taste of it. I don't want to lick it's just not something that I would eat. And it's
Mhm,
probably because I ate it years ago and binged on it or whatever. Like I just it doesn't not just doesn't make me feel good. It's not something that I desire. So
mm,
am I the judge because it's someone else? No. It's just that that's not for me. So, all right. So the second thing is presence. So the first one we talked about was reconnection. And I love the idea of reconnection because this is, as you talked about, this is saying what is actually needed. What does my body need? But
mm,
now, once you reconnect to that and you know what it is, you have to get present. If your body is saying, no, I don't want a bowl of popcorn, according to my daughter, that's like girl dinner. What I really want is just to lie down right now. Maybe I don't want to eat anything at all and I want to lie down. Sometimes the rules we've been passed down, it's 5 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock, you have to eat.
mm.
Maybe you don't want to. That's where the presence comes in. That's where slowing down comes in and really paying attention and kind of leaning in. I remember being on some diet plan years ago and they told me, you have to chew 30 times. And if you chew 30 times, then that's going to help you lose weight because that's how you get present with the food. Now, picture me chewing 30 or 60 times and counting and trying to be present with the food. Now, I'm counting. I'm in my head. I'm not in my body. And my counting goes on up here. Slowing
That's
down is for presence.
And there's such a disconnect with everything like that in life anymore too, because of the fact that we constantly have to be multitasking. Like that's the normal. We have to multitask with everything. And so it doesn't matter like when you're eating, like people are scrolling, you know what I mean? Like my son, he's always watching something and scrolling and eating at the same time or driving, all these things are exactly right, right? Like he can't eat unless he's watching something. So, it's something that all of us struggle with, but tell the truth. Do you do that too?
I'm not gonna sit out here and lie to my folks, all right? You know, I mean, of course, a lot of times I like to look at things that are pretty. In order to shut the phone down, just to have the phone in front of me less, because I'm not
Mhm.
gonna sit here and say I'm not also kind of addicted. I change where I eat in my house. So you know how my kitchen is,
Oh,
Morgan. So
yeah.
what I typically tend to do is instead of eating in the dining room, which is looking out the front windows and all the curtains are always there, I
Mhm.
eat in the kitchen. And many times I eat in what's not my chair, right? I eat in my mother-in-law's chair. Her chair in the kitchen faces out to the backyard. So that allows me to look at the trees, especially now that it's fall. I'm
Oh,
looking at the trees, I'm looking at the squirrels, I'm looking at nature, and that helps me stay more present. So
mm,
instead of just bulldozing through, I'm able to just kind of slow down for just a moment. I really feel that in midlife, without saying to yourself, I'm going to be present for any moment, you just won't be. You just won't be. And I think eating is one of them that really makes you be able to nourish the entire person.
That's a really good point. I know for a long time, I wasn't even worried about, like, nourishment. I lived off of
I
coffee.
remember.
Remember? Like, that was like, what I sustained myself on was coffee because I wasn't worried about what I was feeding myself because I was only worried about trying to survive.
Yeah.
But now I'm realizing that that's not good enough anymore. I really have to give myself what my body needs in that moment in time. So if I'm craving grease, give me some fat. Give me some healthy fats, give me some avocado. Maybe if I need a piece of pizza, like give myself a piece of pizza. Listen to your body and then listen to how your body responds afterwards, and then you can kind of go from there.
And the thing is that, oh, I love what you just said. One slice of pizza, or let me just say, an entire pizza. I said it. I've never eaten it, but I've seen it done. Will not kill you.
Mm,
And I think it's the habits that we build over time that create unhealth in us, whether that's physically, emotionally, mentally. It's what we do over time. So now imagine if once every 6 months you decide to eat a pizza or three pieces or whatever the case may be. I crave pizza like there's nobody's business. I am from New Jersey, best pizza next to New York. I mean, like I crave it, but I really don't feel good when I eat it. So I've tried cauliflower crust. It's from the enemy, but I will eat it occasionally, but it's not what I want. So occasionally, when the kids bring that pizza in, they will cut off a small, they know to cut off a small piece for me because I'm like, I gotta have it. I don't get to eat it.
yeah.
Look at that. My stomach started rumbling this morning. My stomach said, wait a minute.
Whoa, whoa, hold up.
All right, so let's jump into
Oh,
permission. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm so happy that I can talk about this topic
mm,
um, with levity because there was a time again where everything attached to this was a sadness attached to it because there's so much judgment. And so I think that in midlife it is time to let go of negative judgment, even if the whole world's telling you you're not enough. It's time right now to
mm,
remember that you are. What I think is really important too is the idea of once you do these things, you reconnect. You know what you're thinking what you want, and you're like, okay, I'm going to be present for this. Then it comes down to the permission step. So that's the third thread in this fabric we're building for our nourishment. And I don't know about you, Morgan, but I know that permission is one of the hardest things to give, which is why we always talk about it. And even when we're tapping, we're asking ourselves to give ourselves permission to release things, to embrace other things. It's so important that we don't label the nourishment, that we don't label our bodies, that we don't full awareness is not about a label because a
mm,
label, you slap it on, it's a label. What's underneath? And I think that at least once a day, I'm challenged. No, I don't want to say it's a challenge. I don't want to challenge you because I don't want to make the 60 days hard, but it is challenging that at
mm.
least once a day, at least once this week, journal a little bit. How do I feel? Giving yourself permission to have the plate in front of you. And I got to say this one, eat in full view. So, I mean, regarding this idea of permission, I mean, I don't think I've ever asked you this before. I don't remember, but I mean, because you were in a situation with your former husband that was, obviously less than ideal. And I don't know. I mean, I know you've always been a small person. I don't think it really matters if it's insulting. But did he ever like say things about your, food or eating or things like that made it easier for you just to not eat?
Oh my goodness, all the time. Like all the time. He was constantly making comments about my weight and that, he was talking about what I was wearing. He's like, "Oh, you're going to wear that." Or if I was eating something, he would make just snide remarks constantly about like, oh, this is what he would do. One time he went and bought me protein shakes because he's like, "You don't need to be eating so much." He's like, "Just try drinking these." And I really had an issue with that. I remember having my youngest daughter take pictures of me like in my sports bra and my shorts like this, and then the side of me, this, profile on the back and everything, because I was trying to figure out what it
What is
was
he
that he
talking
was
about?
seeing.
Oh,
Yeah, that he was seeing that I needed to work on so badly. And it's funny because I came across those pictures not too long ago and I was blown away. I'm
yeah.
like, Morgan, there was nothing wrong with you. But in my head, I was obese. Like in my head, I was ugly and fat and nasty and just gross in all different every single way because that's how he portrayed me to myself, when it was
Yeah,
nothing like that at all.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, that's one of the reasons why by the time you get to midlife, you're carrying around all this baggage with you. You're carrying it with you. And even though you may say, no, I'm doing okay, if you've had any of that in your life, you have the link, you know how to get in touch with us so that you will be able to get your own tapping
Mhm.
transformation session. But also, let me put this up because I want to make sure everyone knows. So, very, very, very soon, our new midlife tapping circles. We had to wait a little bit, but they will be launching soon. We want to make sure that you know all of the ins and outs when it's ready to launch. So this is a way for you to do that, and we can keep you up to date on what we're doing. So with all of that happening, I really feel that this is what tapping is all about. The first time I learned about tapping, I wasn't using it for this. And then I realized that I could use tapping for anything. And
Mhm.
that when I started using it for things that were really emotional for me, the release was unbelievable. And so I firmly believe, I'm going to assert this, Morgan. Should I say it?
Okay.
I'm saying it. And that is that if you are in midlife, you need this tapping we're about to do. I
Mhm.
don't care. You need it so that you can stop obsessing, stop looking at other people, stop comparing, and look at your own plate and be present with the way that you are nourishing your body. Nourishment for
Mhm.
your entire person, for that peace and that permission, taking that pause and reconnecting with yourself. So I think we should do some tapping right now. Morgan, are you game?
Absolutely. Let's do it, baby.
All right. And remember again that we're talking about these 8 ways to end 2025 well. And
Mhm.
this is the first one, kind of a somatic practice for your nourishment. I was working at one point with an intuitive eating coach, and I was not a client, but I was writing for them. And
Mhm.
one of the things that I learned was how important it was, and watching their clients and some of their circles they were doing, was how tapping worked when they were struggling with eating. And so, as you mentioned before, and I'm not talking about struggling with eating as in, anorexia, I'm talking about struggling with eating because of judgment. And for us, I think this is awesome. I really would like you to lead today because this is something that for me, I do all the time, but I
Mhm.
never get to be a recipient so much. So I would love to be a recipient today. So I'd love for you to get us grounded and get us ready to do this tapping.
Okay, everybody. So we're just going to take some deep breaths in, and then we're going to breathe in as much as we can, and then we're going to breathe out as much as we can, as slowly as possible. Are you ready? Breathe
Yes.
in and out, and in and out. And one more breath in. And we're going to breathe it out really quickly and all the way. Beautiful. So, this is a tapping that you can do before you're about to start eating so that you can go ahead and you can enjoy your meal and then also be able to release any negative emotions or feelings that you have trapped in your body. Okay. So, what we'll do is we'll start at our eyebrow point. If you'd like, repeat after me. Just noticing what's here in my body right now.
Just noticing what's here in my body right now.
Side of eye. Maybe there's hunger or something that's like hunger.
Maybe there's hunger, or it's just something that feels like hunger.
Under eye. Letting myself fill without judging.
Letting myself feel it without judging.
Under your nose. My body knows things my mind doesn't always catch.
My body knows things my mind doesn't always catch.
Chin. I can listen to those signals one breath at a time.
I can listen to those signals one breath at a time.
Collarbone. If there's tension or craving,
If there's tension or craving,
underarm. Every sensation is information.
every sensation is information.
Top of head. My body's wisdom can guide me.
My body's wisdom can guide me.
Let's take a deep breath in right here. And blow it out. This one we can do after we're done eating. We can start at our eyebrow point. I've eaten and I'm just noticing.
I've eaten and I'm just noticing.
Side of eye. Noticing how my body feels with this food inside.
Noticing how my body feels with this food inside.
Under eye. Comfortable, heavy, calm.
Comfortable, heavy, calm.
Under your nose. I feel uneasy when my body communicates with me.
I feel uneasy when my body communicates with me.
Chin. Letting my body tell the truth.
Letting my body tell the truth.
Collarbone. I can be grateful. I can be nourished.
I can be grateful. I can be nourished.
Underarm. Every meal is a conversation with my body.
Wow. Every meal is a conversation with my body.
Mm. Top of head. Shame may come, but I can release it.
Shame may come, but I can release it.
Let's take a deep breath in. And out. Now we're going to release everything that we just held inside. We're going to start at the eyebrow point, releasing any tension or self-judgment from my nourishment.
Releasing any tension or self-judgment from my nourishment.
Side of eye. Letting my body soften and digest not just food, but the feeling.
Letting my body soften and digest not just the food, but the feeling.
Under eye. Allowing anything extra to move through and out.
Allowing anything extra to move through and out.
Under nose. Giving myself permission to release control and guilt.
Giving myself permission to release control and guilt.
And chin. I see my body returning to internal balance.
I see my body returning to internal balance.
Collarbone. I trust my rhythm.
I trust my rhythm.
Awareness, permission.
Awareness, permission.
Nourishment, feelings, and release.
Nourishment, feelings, and release.
Underarm. Letting go of what's not needed anymore.
Letting go of what's not needed anymore.
Top of head. Peace in my body.
Peace in my body.
Ease in my system.
Ease in my system.
Enough for now.
Enough for now.
So now we're going to take a deep breath in and we're going to inhale calm and we're going to exhale everything that can wait. Are you ready? Okay, inhale calm. And exhaling everything that can wait. I nourish myself with compassion, presence, and peace.
I nourish myself with compassion, presence, and peace.
Beautiful.
Wow, Morgan. That was lovely. That was lovely.
Thank you for joining me with that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was that's a great indication of what y'all should do. Not trying to tell you what to do, but that is so nourishing. That was nourishing.
Yeah.
It's interesting because part of what I wanted to do today, Morgan, too, and I know you're like, "So what happened to the somatic part?" Um, I realize sometimes that it's too much. And I think that,
Mhm.
you know me, I always want to, I'm gonna put a gallon in a teacup. Um, so I think we're gonna save that part. But one of the things that is so excellent about tapping around um, issues that have been with you a long time that you just like, I'm good. We talked about that
Mhm.
the other week, right?
Yeah.
You know, maybe you're not, and maybe that's okay. Um, so practice this before you eat, like literally being in this state of reconnection, presence, and then giving yourself permission. And then, I mean, tapping. I mean,
Yeah.
tapping. This was so good. Did it have an impact? I mean, I know you're leading, and sometimes it's a little bit different. How did that tapping feel for you?
Well, dude, so check this out. When I was doing that for you, I was feeling it all in my body too. There was a couple of times I actually had to breathe out and release before I was able to lead you into the next section, into the next tapping point.
Listen, guys, tapping is no joke. I've told you this a million times. It's no joke. It's no joke. It's no joke. It's real. It's a real thing. And what's so beautiful about it is that it's not that hard, but you do have to decide, I'm
Mhm.
going to give myself time. So I'm going to put up our
Mhm.
take this banner up again just for you to look at. Make sure that you stay in contact with us because we will be dropping more information. And, we do have our brand new website, getting to after.com. And it is not a static website. I just have to say, it's not one of these things that you go to once and like, why am I here? This is really our home. So if you want to know what's up in tapping, and especially for midlife women, you need to go to gettingtoafter.com. You need
Mhm.
to come to us every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Eastern because it is really our goal to bring it to you in real time. The real issues, what's going on inside of us, what we cover up, what we move out into the world with, all those feelings of not being enough. And sometimes it's on our plate and we want to thrive. We want to make sure that we're actually thriving, not always just surviving. Surviving isn't good enough. I don't know about you, Morgan, but it's not good enough for me.
Mm-mm. And then giving yourself grace and realizing that it takes time to get from one point to the other one, and then allowing yourself to have the things that make you feel comfortable and
Yeah,
make you feel safe.
yeah, yeah. All right, so listen, this is the first. We go on a deep dive. Next week we're gonna go deep dive on something else. I'm not even gonna tell you what it is. It's a secret. We're going to go deep dive in the next 8 way because you've got 8 weeks. We have
Mm,
this time. It's going through fast, going through
mm,
fast. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy. Again, if you would like to explore more about tapping, you want to definitely pop in with us. If you want your own session, let me put our link up again so that you can grab the link. Make sure that if you heard something today that impacted you a lot, let me put our banner up. You can always get your own tapping session with us. We'd love to have that for you. And also, we do have our magazine, the fall magazine. Not only are there multiple tapping transformations in there are articles that you need for right now
mm.
that are so good. So you want to make sure that you have that as well. And put the link up, make sure you
The
grab
feedback
that.
that we've been getting from that has been absolutely amazing, especially like all the recipes. Everybody's loving the recipes. They're loving the tapping sequences. Just the warm, cozy feeling that it has for the fall has been really, really
It's
great.
fall. It's like it's Gilmore Girls. Okay. It's
Yes.
truly It's truly,
Yes.
Lorelai, okay? It's
Yeah.
Rory. It's all those things. If you don't like Lorelai and Rory, I'm sorry for you. Anyway, we're gone. We're gone. Have an amazing rest of your week. Don't forget, journal a little bit. Ask yourself the questions. Nourishment is not just for the palate, it's for the whole you. Have a fabulous week. We'll see you soon. And we'll welcome you back next week at 8 a.m. on Tuesday. Take good care, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.